Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Brothers and sisters, now I'm going to demonstrate how we can actually answer the probability distribution quiz. And in here we have a case in which a new hotel has just refurbished, and then the company would like to know the probability of the customer come for the room that they have booked. It is the practice of other hotels. The company would like to also allow overbooking scenario. And overbooking essentially occurs when when the customers book more rooms than the actual numbers available in the hotel. The hotel allows this to happen, anticipating that some guests will actually cancel last minute or they didn't turn up. Okay, so there are 126 rooms in this hotel, and based on the past experience, the average of customer count for the room that they have booked is only 92%. And given such informations, if the system has recorded 135 rooms which is booked, we're going to determine the probability of the following situations. So first, we're going to look at the probability of exactly 126 customers will fill the room that they have booked. Okay, so in this, we're going to look at probabilities, which is we're going to put it in percentage, as well as the possibilities of less or equal to 126 rooms will be filled with guests. And probability of the hotel is being overbooked means that you have all the 126 customers that book the room come for the rooms that they have already booked earlier, as well as the additional guests that we allow for additional bookings. So in this case, what would be the probability of that? Because we might need to compensate those who actually have placed the bookings but they could not get the rooms that they have requested earlier. And last, if the company accepts maximum of the possibility of 5% to compensate the customer for overbooking, and we're going to see what is the optimum number of for daily rooms bookings that can be handled by the hotel. So these are the questions that I have posted in the quiz. Now we're going to have a look on how we can answer these questions. Okay. Okay, so I have put all those 4 questions into my Excel. All right, so I have those questions here. Just want to highlight the information that we get from the spreadsheets. We have the number of rooms that we have in the hotel, which is 126. Okay, so these are the number of rooms available in the hotel. These are the numbers of bookings that we have allowed or we have recorded in the system, and this is the probability of those people count for the rooms that they have booked based on the past data. Okay, so now we're going to have a look on the probability of the first one. First, we have the first question is the probability of exactly 126 customer will come for the the room that they have booked. Okay, so I'm going to put here. Keep in mind, because the only 2 possibilities of this customer, either they come for the rooms that they've booked or they didn't come. So there are 2 possibilities: turn up or they didn't turn up. Okay, so in this case, we're going to use the binomial distributions. Okay, because we expect 2 values or 2 possibilities of the outcome for each guess. Okay, so we're going to use this binomial distributions. So we can insert function, and then you can put binomial. So we're going to use the binomial distributions. Okay, so these are the number of informations needed. Okay, so let's just pick this one. Okay, so the number of success in the trial. So S is the number of success in the trial. So in this case, we're going to put 126. Okay, let me just move this aside so you can see it here. How do I get that 126? This is the number of rooms that we have. So this is the successes, which means that the customer get the rooms that they have booked. Okay, trials, we have 135. We have 135 customers or guests that we have allowed to book the rooms. Based on the past sample, we have 92%, which is 0.92. Okay, so this is for 92% probability of them actually turning up for the rooms that they have booked. And in here we have something called cumulative. So this is actually logical values true or false. True is if we actually use as a cumulative, but because we only have one and this is not a cumulative, so we're going to put it as false. Okay, right, so we're going to click OK. So as you can see in here, this is 0.11, which is around 11%. If you want to put it in percentage, perhaps you can have the okay. Right, so this is 11.48%. So you can still keep track the formulas that you have. This is the solutions or the results in percentage. Now we're going to look at the next one. The next one, we're going to focus on the possibilities of the gas that actually come is less than 126. So in this case, there are a lot of possibilities, right? Possibilities of only one turn up, or only two turn up, only three turn up, and so on and so forth until it is less than 126 or equal to 126. So in this case, we're going to accumulate. We're going to accumulate all those possibilities as one result. The same thing, we're going to use binomial distributions. Okay, so now that you have seen the formulas executed, so we're going to use binomial distributions. We're going to use these values as the first one. This is the second one. This is the numbers of guests that we have allowed to book, and this is the probability, and we're going to put it as true because we allow more than 135, but we're going to look at whether any possibilities that actually come less to and equal to 126. So the possibilities of all, what would be the possibilities of only one turn up and only two turn up, and so on and so forth. So we accumulate all, so that's why we need to have the true options on. Okay, so again, we have 76% here. Let me just again put this in the same format as what we have there. Okay, so just in case you missed the first one, you can actually use this format. Okay, percentage. All right, so now we're going to put this in percentage, 76%. All right, so 76%, the possibilities of less or equal to 126 rooms will be filled with the gas. All right, last is probability of the hotel is being overbooked, so possibilities of more than 126 people or guests will claim or request for their rooms. So in this case, logically, because we have if the maximum possibilities is 1, then obviously we're going to see what would be more than this is 1 minus, okay, 1 minus by this, right? So that's logically, if you want to know what about if it's more, then more means that it is beyond more than 100, it is beyond 126. So we can actually check the possibilities of 1 minus by this. So we have 23%. Okay, the same thing if you would want to copy, oops, let me just, okay, so I can go to this one, I can copy the painter, I can copy here. So if I have this, that will be 23.93%. okay, so it's quite high, the chances that people actually, or more guests will be coming because we allow overbooking. Now come to the last questions. If the company doesn't mind to pay for or to compensate guests that has overbooked, or they actually have booked and then they couldn't get the room, so the possibilities of them to compensate the company is still okay, as long as it is less or equal to 5%, which is the maximum of 5%. So we're going to change this. What we're going to do is we're going to modify the possibilities of the values here. Okay, so we can actually work with what we have here. All right, so at the moment it is 23%. All right, So let me just copy this one as well here. Now we're going to work around with what is the ideal scenarios. We're going to push this down into 5%. So what you can do, actually, you can play around, because this is now a spreadsheet model. You can actually try, what about if it's 127? Okay, so in this case, it is very low, so means that we can accommodate more. What about if it's 129? Okay, so this is around 0.16, still way below what the company is willing to pay. I think we can put more. What about if it's 132? So it's about right. Okay, so if we put one more, say it will be above 5%. So this is of course a no-go for the company. So in this case, I think the most optimum is to allow 132 bookings. Okay, so in this case, if they have to compensate, the possibilities of them to compensate or the possibilities of it is of a book is only 5%. So this is makes sense. Okay, so we can go along with this. So this is why spreadsheet model is very important. So once you have actually worked with this, you can modify relevant information to fit in to your requirements. Okay, so I hope that helps with how you solve the probability distribution exercise. And again, if you want to have a look on how this can be solved, I would suggest that you follow through, or you follow the examples that I have here. And I'm very sure once you have done it, you would have a better overview, or you have a better understanding of how this works. Okay, so all the best, and let me know if you have any questions or further inquiries on the topic. Take care. Assalamualaikum.